"What are you doing?" James asked, his voice tinged with alarm. Without answering, Clara began grabbing the pieces of meat off the grill, perfectly cooked steaks, burgers and sausages, and tossing them into the trash with a dramatic flourish. "This is wrong. You're a part of the problem, James. I'm saving you from your ignorance." The guests were in shock, frozen in place, unsure of what to do. Some of them had already been uncomfortable with Clara's rants earlier, but now it was clear that things had escalated beyond a mere disagreement. Clara wasn't just protesting. She was taking action, and she wasn't stopping. "Clara, stop it," James said, his voice firm now, the tension building in his chest. He wasn't sure if he was more angry or confused, but one thing was clear. This wasn't going to end well if it kept going like this. But Clara didn't stop. She was in a frenzy, throwing the food into the trash as if she were on a mission to rid the world of James' evil ways. "You think you can just keep doing this and no one will care? You think it's okay to feed the world poison? I'm making sure you can't ignore the truth anymore." James took a deep breath, trying to control his anger. This was getting out of hand, and he wasn't going to let it ruin everything. "Clara," he said, stepping forward, trying to stay as calm as possible, "you need to leave now. This is my barbecue. If you don't like it, then you can go." Clara stood there for a moment, her breathing shallow, her chest heaving with each breath. Then with a sneer she spat out, "You'll regret this, James. You'll see. People like you always do." James was about to turn away when, in one quick unexpected motion, Clara reached into her bag and pulled out a small handgun. The whole scene froze, and a cold chill swept over the crowd. "What the hell?" someone whispered, but no one dared to move. Clara raised the gun, and James' heart stopped. For a second, everything seemed to go silent. His brain couldn't process what was happening. "I'm fighting for the planet," Clara said in a low, dangerous tone. "You'll understand when it's too late." Before anyone could react, Clara fired the gun into the air. The loud bang rang out, sending everyone into a panic. People screamed and dove for cover. James stumbled backward, his heart racing, unsure of what to do. The barbecue had gone from a casual gathering to a life-threatening situation in a matter of moments. Just as quickly as the chaos began, a figure appeared out of nowhere. John, the retired police officer from down the street, who had been quietly watching the drama unfold. Seeing the gun in Clara's hand, John didn't hesitate. He rushed forward and tackled her to the ground, knocking the weapon out of her grip. The gun went off again, but this time it was a stray bullet that grazed James' arm. The pain was immediate, but his shock was greater. Blood started to trickle down his sleeve, but his mind couldn't focus on the wound. It was still reeling from the absurdity of the situation. John managed to subdue Clara, pinning her to the ground, while the rest of the guests scrambled to help. The police were called immediately, and Clara was arrested, still shouting about her mission and how she had to do it to save the planet. James, dazed and still processing the events, was rushed to the hospital to treat the wound. As he sat in the ER, his mind raced, thinking about how something as simple as a barbecue could escalate into something so horrific. He couldn't understand how a neighborhood disagreement had spiraled out of control so quickly. But one thing was clear: the day of his backyard barbecue would never be the same. The days following the shooting were a blur of hospital visits, news interviews, and endless phone calls. James had never expected something as simple as a neighborhood barbecue to turn into an incident that would make headlines. His arm healed faster than his mind did. Physically, he was fine, just a small graze from the stray bullet, but emotionally, he felt like he'd been shattered into pieces. The pain of the wound faded quickly, but the aftermath of what happened left a mark that was harder to shake. He couldn't stop replaying Clara's actions in his head, the look in her eyes as she threatened him, the snap of the gunshot, the chaos that erupted all around him. He wasn't just physically shaken by the bullet. The fact that someone he barely knew, a neighbor, could suddenly go off the deep end like that left him questioning so much more than just his barbecue habits. He spent the first week after the incident holed up in his house, not really knowing what to do. His friends and neighbors reached out to him, offering support, checking in, making sure he was okay.